Oh, true. She's out in a what? She's in a different spot again, chat and listeners. I know we haven't started recording yet, but
Oh, we have. We
oh
have.
my goodness, it's like a it's like a Kinder surprise.
You just don't know where I'm going to pop up.
Just don't know where you're going to pop up. Don't know what's going to be in the
Have no idea.
thing.
I'm full of surprises. Anyway, yeah, I thought I'd do it from the kitchen.
Oh my goodness.
The following podcast is rated G for gammon. Please be aware it may contain some coarse language and is not suitable for children or gammon audiences.
Ding ding ding.
It's your favourite black people. Say true God.
Seriously? Say true God.
God. Always say true God.
Seriously? Say true God.
God. We're back. Say true God. Them yarns.
Say true God.
God. Always say true God. Them yarns.
Say true God.
God. We're back. Just starting off this episode with some laughs
chat.
because let me just tell you, I looked up from what I'm doing, let's just say that, and Aaron is just shaking his head at me.
Oh my goodness. See, so we're
Oh, God. Do you want to
Welcome to-
explain or what?
welcome to them crafting yarns. Apparently, we're an
Oh
old
my-
lady. We're an old lady podcast now.
First of all, it's not old lady behaviors. It is. This is called multitasking. That's what this is called.
multitasking.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to them yarns from my kitchen this week.
Yeah.
My
Yeah,
kitchen
yeah.
bench, and you're probably thinking,
Kitchen bench this
"What?"
week.
Yeah, you're probably thinking, what the hell? Last week she was on the couch. This week she's at the kitchen bench. Is everything going okay? And Carly's like, well, no, actually it's not. Okay, in case you wondered.
I opened up the video link, and I was looking. And I was like, "What? Where?" I didn't know what to say.
You've never seen my kitchen.
I've
This
never
is the thing.
seen this kitchen. I mean, I have probably seen it on his social media when she's doing her
Yeah.
game and cooking shows.
Had a
But yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, it's just you just don't know what's going to happen these days.
You just
It could be anywhere. She was in the park for one podcast, and she's laying on the couch. Now she's sitting here making something. I was just
I actually
Meanwhile-
was in a park the other week doing a podcast. This is the thing. I'm the let's call me the around the traps reporter for
she's the roving Mike.
the roving reporter for them yarns. Yep. Well, you're probably thinking, what the hell is she doing in a kitchen? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think it's a surprise to anyone. I have a new fixation, a new hyper-fixation.
Hyper-fixation.
Oh my God. I the other week I saw a dollhouse on Marketplace for free, and it was in my neighborhood. I thought, oh, that's cute. I'll take that because, it's free. And the government says that we get free houses. So I was like, that must be the free house that I get as a black fella. So I got it off Marketplace. It's a doll house. And when I tell you this little house looked like The Conjuring, like it looked like a Conjuring house. It was busted up. It's like it had broken pieces of wood. Everything was like dirt and all sorts. But I was like,
that's why it was free.
yeah. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to take it because I knew it was busted up. But I was like, I'm gonna do this up. And you're probably thinking like, why? Why would you think that on a Saturday morning?
Because chat, that's what she used to think about men. She used to think I can fix him, and now she's like, no, I can't. Now she's
I
find
can
someone
fix
else
this
to fix. I can
Moved
fix
on.
this broken, dirty house.
I could do that easy. No, well, it's because and you're going to feel bad about this, and everyone's going to feel bad and be like, "Why are you doing up a dollhouse, Carly? She's really given up on life. She's given up on dating. She's given up on all the things." Well, no, actually, I got the dollhouse because I'm like, oh, maybe I can be a good auntie and get the dollhouse, do it up for my nephews and nieces when they come and visit me. Because when I was about 8 years old, my mum, she was in AA when I was growing up. So Alcoholics Anonymous, my mum was a really heavy drinker, so was my dad. And my mum, she went to AA. So some of my earliest memories, me at the AA meetings, kicking back in the corner, doing colouring in. So mum made a whole bunch of friends from AA. And one of those friends one time rocked up at her house randomly. And keep in mind, we lived in the country, so the closest toy shop is ages away and there's nothing. So this woman rocks up with a handmade doll's house that she crafted
Wow.
for me. Like,
Ah,
it was so
lovely.
nice. I know. And I still remember it's like one of the nicest little memories of my childhood
yeah.
that this lady that my mum had made friends with just came, and it was like this full blown, it was huge. It was a huge little dollhouse. She handcrafted it. It had a little attic where you could like lift it up, and it was mad. And I had it till I was, until obviously probably last year, but nah, Gavin. I gave it, I gave it to my niece, I think, and it's gone through the family. I don't know where it is now. I think it's probably at my sister's house. Who knows? But when I saw this little dollhouse, I was like, I could do the same for my nieces and nephews. See?
Deadly.
And now it's turned into a full-blown obsession, and no children will be playing with this dollhouse that I'm creating.
So,
It started off nice, but no.
Just because I know we don't do video podcasts, and thank goodness, because
We'll do a clip.
she's sitting at a kitchen bench. While she's talking, she has super glue on the bench. She's putting paddle pop sticks together. And when she first started, so I was waiting for her to start talking on the podcast, but then she realized that her paddle pop sticks were uneven, so she just started shaking her head, and I was like, what is going on here?
Bro, you don't know how deep I am into this hyper-fixation right now.
Yeah.
So I got the dollhouse, I picked it up, immediately went to Bunnings, all right?
Immediately.
I don't even know how much I spent on the first day because I had to get sandpaper, I had to get cleaning supplies, like when I got scrapers, like I got all the things. Oh, what's the thing? Undercoat. Yeah, undercoat for the paint. Had to get all that stuff, right?
Yep.
I didn't have a dream for it at that point, Nagus.
Yeah.
I was just like, I'm gonna strip it back. I'm gonna do this, gonna do that. I took the roof off. I did all the things, sanded it down. And that was 2 weeks ago. And then I ordered some furniture, and then we've got it's now got a yard. It's got like full fake yard. The furniture came this week, and when I tell you, it was one of the greatest days I've had this year. Like, that is where my life is at. Somebody on my Facebook, I've been doing little reels every day of like an update on the doll's house. People are living for it, by the way. So I'm not the only crazy one. People are living for the updates. And yeah, I can tell you, it's I built an attic. I've now got hinges on it. So this little dollhouse has got an attic. See what I'm doing here? Do you want to know what some of the furniture is that I got?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I have got 2 bougie little couches. I've got a full kitchen set, corner set with an oven. Like, it's got everything. And then I've got a toilet. What else did I buy for it? Oh, floorboards. Nagus?
You bought floorboards.
Laid individual floorboards. And I've run out of those, so I've got to order more. And then I also got a rice cooker for the kitchen because why wouldn't you? Like, that's what I'm saying. So, yep. So tonight, you by the way, you didn't ask me what I'm actually making tonight while I'm talking to you.
No, I didn't.
You want to know?
Not gonna, no,
Yes,
not really.
you do. For the listeners at home, everybody who wants to know, I'm made.
She's making
this?
a fence.
No, this is not a fence, actually.
Oh.
This is a, what are those things called? Like
A
not
raft.
a lattice for the windows, like a little.
Window lattice. Yeah,
Is it,
definitely.
that's not what it's called. What is it? Like a window shutter. Look at this.
Yes, totally.
And I'm going to paint it. I'm going to paint it the same color as the
You're
roof.
painting it.
Yeah, of course I'm going to paint it.
Yes.
Everything matches. Look, and I even did a blue door for the garden.
cool.
I've got a garden gate. So, yep. Do you want to see what else I made tonight? This is getting out of hand. I'll put all this on our Instagram, by the way, so everyone can just see and keep up to date with the reels.
That's the sun.
It's not a sun, actually. It's a wall hanging. It's a woven wool
goodness.
hanging piece. It's a decorative piece for the wall. It's actually a feature for the dollhouse.
Okay, a feature. So Carly said when we were talking about what we're going to talk about for this episode, I was like, oh, let's do something serious. She's like, oh no, let's do my dollhouse. I was like, do you mean should we do a segment on ADHD hyperfixation? She's like, yes, that's what it is. So yeah, we're just talking about this hyperfixation that she's got, and it's very deep. It's one of the more clinical cases I've seen. I'll be honest.
Don't call for help. I'm very happy, Ryo, right now.
She's deep into it, good ways, bad ways, whichever ways you want to take it.
Mate,
And yes, everybody with ADHD, and there's an autism thing as well, not just ADHD.
Oh,
There's
no,
these things
people
where
with autism they collect stamps, they collect all sorts of things. This is
maybe
where
it's
I'm at.
maybe it's an autistic thing. I don't know, but the deep dive into different things is interesting. And I'm trying to think of what mine would be.
Yeah. Do you have any? Well, you probably collect basketball singlets, let's be honest.
Yeah,
There it
I
is.
do. I do have a bunch of those.
But you don't have any weird fixations.
Don't really have any weird fixations. No, not that. I don't. Yeah, I think like I'm addicted to chess. I've started playing. I've
Really?
bought a PlayStation.
What do you mean
So
you bought a PlayStation? For what? Chess.
for my birthday. No, just because I was like, oh, I haven't had a PlayStation before, so I bought one. So I started playing games on there, so that's fun.
At the ripe old age of 55.
Yeah. I'm the retired old man of the group. It's been fun, getting beaten by little 12-year-olds online and getting abused by them.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't think I have one at the moment. I think mine is more like I don't have that style of neurodiversity. Mine is more like I'll go to put the soap in the bathroom downstairs, and then I'll see like there's a nail out, and then so I was like, I've got to fix that. And then as I'm going to get the hammer to fix the nail, I'll
Yeah.
see something's dirty, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I've got to clean that. And sometimes I do all those 7 of those jobs, and other times I just get caught weeding the garden. I'm like, how did I end up here? And I'm like,
You've left a trail of
yeah,
destruction
yeah.
behind
So
you.
I've started 18 jobs,
Mm.
and I don't know if I finished any of them, but sometimes it's really good. Like one time I can't remember what job I started doing, but I ended up cleaning all the roof gutters.
Yeah, see, sometimes
yeah.
it can be done.
I cut down a tree, I cleaned all the gutters, and I cleared it, and I was like, wow, this is clean now.
Were you doing anything else when you were doing that, or you just
That's what I mean.
you were just
No, like
on
I
it?
started doing 3 other jobs,
Right.
and somehow ended up in the pool house cutting down a tree, and then I realized that when I was cutting down a tree, that leaves were falling in the gutters. So then I started cleaning out the gutters.
The fact that you said you have a pool house makes me sick. Like, let's just firstly, I've got a dollhouse.
Yes,
You've
I'm
got a pool
bougie.
house. That's the difference between me and Agus, people.
Yeah, sorry.
It's all I can afford. I can't actually afford property, and we'll go into that in a minute. But the dollhouse is it. But when you were saying you cleaned the gutters, you did this, you did that. I have the opposite. I've got to obviously do multiple things at the same time. So right now,
okay.
I'm doing my
Talking.
one hobby, which is podcasting, while I'm doing my newest fixation of making things for the dollhouse. But I've also, one of my craziest habits is when I'm on the phone to somebody and I'm having like a real big yarn and I'm walking around, when I tell you I clean things that I don't even know that I've cleaned. Like
Wow.
I once came past my switches, the light switches. Brother, they were clean as hell. I was like, when did I do that? Like while I'm on the phone, I'm just
cleaning.
Just cleaning a light switch. Who does that? Like ridiculous. So sometimes it can be helpful.
Yeah, I don't talk on the phone as much as I used to. I don't think, like not for like long periods of time.
I feel like it's a real black woman thing. That's a generational
used to-
black woman thing.
Yeah, I just used to walk. Like I'd probably do like 80,000 steps a day when I was on the phone.
Yeah. See,
Like just pace. I don't clean while I do it. Sometimes I do, but
I can't sit still and talk on the phone. I got to walk around my house, do things. My family always like, what are you doing? I can hear banging. Mind you, if they were to do that to me while they're...
You'd be wild.
I'd be like, what noise are you making?
Hey, damn.
Stop it. I would just hang up. But yeah, well, ask me about the expense of the dollhouse, Nagus.
I don't know if I want to because you bought a rice cooker.
I bought a rice cooker. In saying that, it was from Shein. And Shein, it just has a whole bunch of stuff that
I don't
really
know
cheap.
Shein. All I know about
Wow.
Shein is that
I
they
know,
make lots of bad stuff.
They don't make bad stuff because I can tell you right now, it's sitting in a dollhouse and it will be enjoyed by me, not any children. Just a reminder.
Poor kids. Poor kids.
Okay, can I tell you one more thing that I made for it the other day? I can show you
Yes.
right now. I made these, okay, and they're little fence palings that are going to go around the house, right, in the yard.
Mhm.
And I started making them the other day. And what do wooden fence palings usually look like? They have triangles at the top. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
started cutting them into little triangles, and they look dope. They look like a real little
yeah.
fence. No good. I was showing my sister. I'm like, look how deadly this is. Oh, so cute. And she goes, is our nephew going to be playing with this at some point? I'm like, maybe. And she goes, because originally it was for my nephews and nieces.
Yeah.
And she goes, you're going to impale a child. Like, you
Yeah,
cannot have
yes,
the freaking
yes.
sharp fence around the house. The kids are going to impale themselves on this little dollhouse freaking fence. So she made me cut them into rounded circles. Rude.
Wow.
Anyway, that's the
Well, there
latest
you go.
fixation. Should I post
So,
the reels on
Just
our
post the reels on the yarns.
on them yarns? Everyone wants a little
And
update.
Everybody else wants to know
So you're telling me you
what-
don't want to know? Is this what you're telling me? You're not invested?
how much. No,
Okay.
I'll just be like, what the f? But how much has this cost you?
First of all, it's none of your business.
See? I knew it. I knew it. She didn't want to say it because it's
Oh
too
my
much.
God, bro. You know what? I probably should have just researched this dollhouse.
You probably
thing.
should have bought a new house
I-
from the new Barbie house or something.
I probably could have, but it doesn't have the charm, the finesse, the pizzazz that this dollhouse
Yes.
will have. Okay.
Dang.
I should have actually researched it though, because there is a whole community out there of people who do up dollhouses. I didn't know
Of course
this.
there is.
I didn't know.
I love it.
It's a big thing. And
Mm-hmm.
you can make your own dollhouse furniture and all these types of things. I probably should have done that. That'll be for the next one. Because, yes, I've already started thinking about a second dollhouse.
Are you going to get that one for free or no? Are we past that?
No, that's the goal. If I'm going to do up dollhouses, it's got to be a free dollhouse. It's got to be a marketplace. It's got to be something that I can flip. All right? I don't want to buy one of these little Kmart jobs and then do it. No. I want to bust it up, conjuring house. And yes, I'm
Yep.
going to smoke it out. That is the biggest question that I've had from everybody. Are you going to smoke the house out?
Of course, you have to.
Yes, I will. Once I move before I move the furniture in, we'll do a smoking ceremony. We'll smoke every room out, and it'll be a safe little dollhouse. If any little
Yeah.
action starts happening with this dollhouse, trust me, I'll be burning it in the backyard. I don't care how much money I paid for it. But I have spent a fair bit of money.
Yes.
I'm ashamed to say, and I probably could have saved a lot of money by making my own stuff, but I didn't. So
That's
as
why
it
it's
stands,
hyper-fixation.
okay, first of all, in my defense, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't gamble, I don't have kids. This is my money. I can spend it how I want, Negus. Okay?
Hey, it's your money. You do what you want to do, sister. You do you.
I reckon we're easily sitting at about 500.
Holy smokes.
I rang my sister the other day. I was like, I need to stop. Someone needs to stop. Like, I've got no self-control. Because you go in and you see all the little dollhouse things. I'm like, oh my God. Of course I need a miniature water fountain. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've got a chandelier, Negus. I've got a
Could
chandelier.
not be me.
Ridiculous.
Could not be me.
But I really need to learn how to budget. I really need
Yes,
to learn how to
okay.
budget. Speaking of budgets, big week this week. See that little segment there, people? That's how you do podcasts. That is a professional going straight from a dollhouse to the house I can't afford because I'm spending $500 on it, but also I can't afford a real house either. But this week, the Labor government trying to say that maybe I could. Maybe I could. What do you think?
Yeah, they I think Angus Taylor did his reply tonight, so that'll be interesting. But they did a big federal budget, and they're getting a lot of interesting reactions to it, mostly because it is targeting. Well, I think for me, they're targeting the right people because the people complaining the most are like billionaires and real estate agents and
Yeah.
those sort of
The
things.
white, the white tears this week have been
Yeah,
real.
it's been amazing. And so one of my friends, one of my group chats, they were complaining about it, and I was like, yeah, I'll be honest. One of my friends said, you're sounding like a boomer, and the other one's like, waiting for your real motivation because they're a real estate agent. And he's like, I really like investors. They help me, afford my expensive beer taste.
Yeah.
So I think when you have those sort of people complaining, you're probably on the right spot, probably in the right space. But one of the reasons why I want to talk about it is because it's been really interesting watching people's reactions online. I've seen a lot of like elbows hopeless and la la la, this government's incompetent. And I was like, we're really in a place where, thanks to your orange father over there, Caesar, he
That is your dad. We established that a couple of weeks back. Your father.
there's a really low baseline for what we're expecting from politicians. And yeah, so I had a look at the budget. I love, as you know, my
Such a
it's
nerd.
not really a hyper-fixation, but it's
Yes, it
definitely
is. This is, we just found it. This is your hyperfixation is politics. This is Nager's all round nerd.
yeah. Yes, but there's some decent things in there for blackfellas.
Okay,
One of the
tell me.
things,
I didn't get into it. What are we getting?
one,
Because
one of the
it's
things,
not a free house. I know that much.
no,
Mine's
that's right. One of the things that they were hoping to do, so they didn't really do it well, but they had to get rid of negative gearing because it's just creating a
okay.
minefield and a
Explain
housing
negative
crisis.
gearing to the people that don't know what a negative gearing is.
So, say you have a house and you want to invest in another house. Negative gearing is the payments you make on your investment. You're not making that back in rent. So you might buy $1 million house, and the payments might be $800, but you're only getting $400 rent. So like, oh, it's negative geared then. So it's geared towards you're not making money from it. So that then becomes there's some tax loops in there. So basically, we're funding people to be able to afford houses they couldn't afford, and yeah, it's costing us billions of dollars a year.
Mm-hmm.
People who can afford investment places we're buying it because they knew they could negatively gear it and get some great tax breaks, and you just sit on that house until prices go up, and then you sell that, and then you do it again.
Yeah.
And so it just created this cycle of people just buying houses they couldn't really afford, but they could sort of afford it because they were getting tax breaks for it, and then
And also
sit
who
on it
don't
for
really
5 years.
need it because they probably got
No.
however many.
It's an investment property, so
Yes.
you don't do that for a house you're living in. It's only for ones that you're renting out. And yeah, so that's been changed, which is a really big change because even though we're the only country in Australia in the world that does it, Australia really, really, really thought it was amazing to just give billions of dollars to mostly rich people. So
Mm-hmm.
the top 10% of house owners, I think, own like 25% of all properties in Australia, investment properties. And so they were obviously, when that's happening, you're not doing the right thing. So that's changed, and it's really brave actually because last time Labor did this, they lost.
Mm.
Anyway, so that's how they're trying to make houses cheaper for you, is by stopping for paying for people to invest.
Because the idea is that people now will go, well, I can't afford this anymore. I'm not getting the benefits of this investment
Mhm.
property anymore. I'm going to sell it. And then more people like me and others will actually have a chance of buying something for the first time and
Mhm.
getting in
Yeah,
the
so
market.
first home buyers will be less likely to be going up against investors
Yes.
because investors were only buying, entry level houses. They weren't buying, or some were, but they're not really going to be buying, like the $5 million mansions.
Yeah.
They're going to buy like the $500 $1 million houses that everybody else is trying to buy.
Yeah.
They probably didn't do a good job. I wish they'd done better, but it's a start.
Did they break a promise though, Aaron?
Yeah, I don't really care that they broke a promise.
Well,
It's a
that's
promise to
that's
break.
the thing. Let's talk about it because, look, I like to do a bit of fair journalism, a little bit of fair on the. There's no sway here whatsoever. It's like let's see it from all sides. Labor Party actually. That was one of the things. We're not going to reverse that. No, we won't do that.
Yeah.
When it came to vote for us a year ago,
Yeah.
and the big thing this week, and I watched on the budget. Budget night is always very interesting. I love the theatre of budget night when it comes to journalism.
They really love blowing it up, eh?
I love it. You love it from a party point of view. You love it from a political point of view. I love it from a journalistic point of view where I see all the reporters like losing their bananas over it. They just, And the big thing that this week that they drilled all of them on, and I saw the treasurer and everyone on they had them on ABC, on all the things. Did you break a promise though? Did Labor break a promise?
Yeah, they definitely did. And they definitely did because, like I said, like the last election they lost, old mate had the exact same idea. And then the media made this big scare campaign about, there's going to be no houses left, and then say dumb people voted for the wrong party and they lost. So if we'd put this in 2019 when Bill Shorten suggested it, we would have saved billions of dollars. Like literally, this is going to save us 3 to 4 billion, and we would have saved another 3 or 4 billion if we had done it back then as well. So, billions is a lot of money to be
It
giving
is.
to people to invest
But
in
how much
houses
is a
that
promise worth, Nagus, is the question.
it's. I
And
honestly, I'm glad they did.
and if
I,
if they broke this promise, what's the next promise? I guess is what people will say. Just chucking it out there. Look, I want to know, what do Mob get? What are we getting from this budget this year?
What are we getting from
Yes.
this budget? So that's one of the good things. So it is a left-leaning government. So unfortunately, they did cut NDIS, which is going to affect a lot of mob.
Ridiculous. Absolutely
And
ridiculous.
it's disgusting that they did that.
And
but-
can I say, as someone who works in the disability space, it has been really difficult for people with disability, especially the disability community. Everyone is feeling it, and everyone's feeling really disheartened, really like a lot of anxiety,
Yeah.
over uncertainty of what's going to happen.
One of the things I saw, they said 13% of all Australians with a disability who need support are receiving NDIS. I'm like, wait, and I read that again. So there is 87% of Australians living with a disability who can't or aren't receiving any support.
Yeah.
And so we cut that. I'm like, we're only at 13%.
Mm-hmm.
Like what? But anyway, so
Oh, look, it's
disgusting.
I've just, even if people aren't on the NDIS but have a disability, people in the community, disability community, everyone is connected to somebody or knows somebody with a disability or knows someone affected by it. And it's just the uncertainty to see funding that is going towards people's livelihood. Like, this is literally like showers. This is like, all sorts of like personal care, like just things to do with dignity, human rights, that to see that, and then the effects that it's had on the community is really sad. It's a really uncertain time, and this budget, I don't know how we're going to see it roll out next year, and it's going to be crazy, and that will affect a lot of mob. On NDIS, or even mob who aren't on the NDIS, who thought that's probably what they could link into. We're all
Get
gonna
some support.
This is the thing about disability. Any of us at any time, so we rely on these sorts of systems and things to be there for us to go if anything happened to my family, whatever, that these things are there, just like aged care, just like everything else. So it's a real shame considering where it's come from, but there are reasons for it. Obviously, they're trying to save money. But they're also saying that, the NDIS originally, what it was set up for was for severe impairment, people with severe impairment, and that now it's gotten crazy. But the problem is we need to build back into the community those foundational supports that are really important for people with disability that can access that and not just rely on NDIS. So that's the goal. Hopefully that they put those into place, but time will tell. But that's the NDIS. But what else? What else did we get?
So there's around $1.3 billion that are going into blackfellas initiatives, and it's all about, a lot of that is about closing the gap stuff. How are they investing in health? Blah 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 blah. One of the cool things I saw, which I didn't realize we'd been doing so much, but they're actually expanding, is the essential subsidy scheme for like remote stores.
Yeah.
So those remote communities, they've increased that, which is really good, because especially these days when old mates doing whatever. So that's pretty cool.
And that's what we complain in the city. We talked about it a couple of weeks ago when the fuel crisis was going on and the fuel shortage, but in remote communities, everything in shops is just crazy, like the expense. So that's really good that they're going to start putting in subsidizing.
They're expanding that. They put more money into that, so there'll be more subsidies for that. And then the other thing for remote mob, which is great, is there's a few $100 million going into remote jobs and development stuff. So the old CDP where
CDP. I was on CDP.
Were ya?
Yeah.
Explain what CDP is now for the
Okay.
people, the young people.
The younger generation. If you don't know what CDP is, you're too young for me, bro. That's when you know. You know, were you on CDP? No, you weren't.
Nah, not
Okay.
slash.
This is like when people
Let's see
say,
slash CDP.
show me your certificate of Aboriginality. I'm like, were you on CDP? No, you weren't. So shut up. Okay. No, I'm going a bit too far. So when
If you were on CDP, you're not a real black fellow.
yeah, sure God. No, it was like the thing in North Queensland because jobs and in remote communities and rural areas, because jobs are like scarce and mob qualifications, we don't always get the same level of education. There were programs that you could get like a I can't even remember how it worked then, but it was like not like a subsidy. It was like another type of wage, I guess.
Yeah, it's just like it's just like another payment. And you just
it was another payment, but you're working
what work
for
did
it.
you do for your CDP? What was your...
So this is actually, CDP played a big role in my life because I went from, I was a job seeker for a bit. And when I was about 19, I got out of uni, did a year of like a gap year, had no money, was just mucking around, didn't know what I wanted to do in life. Then I got into the radio station and I was volunteering at Radio 4K1G, Radio 4K1G in Townsville, too deadly. And I was volunteering there. And then a whole bunch of other mob that I met there were, a lot of bullers that did the same thing. They had music shows, volunteering. And they said to me, sis, you should get on. Are you on CDP? And I'm like, what? No, what is it? And they're like, yeah, we're on CDP. Like, you should get on CDP because it's more, it was a little bit more money than the job seeker. And so you could work for a place and they,
So you could get like your dole payments and you get CDP on top of that.
Correct.
But you had to work for it.
You had to work for it.
Yes.
And it really worked for me because it got me in the door in radio. And then once you obviously earned over a certain amount, it was means tested and then you didn't, you couldn't do it. So it actually really helped me get into my career. So
yeah, so they're reforming that a bit. And they're trying to create a more stable, properly paid employment in those community-controlled and local orgs.
Because this is a thing too that a lot of places did, that people were trying to pay not Aboriginal. I'm not saying Aboriginal orgs, but I'm saying like businesses and stuff. They would just try and get away with paying mob CDP wage without actually paying them a wage and just keeping them at that level. So it does need to be regulated. When I'm talking about CDP, when I was on it, that was literally 20 years ago. Okay, so lots has changed, hopefully, but that's good to hear.
A bit more regulation.
Yeah,
they've done there's 50 million or so for First Nations language programs, and they're trying to build some language centres around Australia, where they're going to be holding that. So that's lovely.
I think there's the domestic violence. They put money into a whole new Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander anti-domestic violence.
Yeah, sorry, I missed that one.
Yeah.
200 million for Our Way, Strong Ways, Our Voices.
That's it.
To address domestic and family violence in Indigenous communities. So that's pretty cool. That's going to support ACOs, cultural safe crisis services, early intervention and support for women and children. I missed that when I was scanning through. So yeah, that's really good.
That's a big announcement.
That's it's nice that some governments actually, because we talk about all these issues that happen in communities and blah blah blah, but domestic violence, just I don't know what it is, and it's probably because men are the major perpetrators, but for some reason we never see a government fund domestic violence properly.
No government, let alone for black women.
It doesn't matter left, right.
That's right.
It doesn't matter which way you're facing.
It has not been taken seriously.
No, and it's wild. And like I said, it's probably because men do it most, which is probably why it's not taken seriously and funded.
And
but
there's men in power, so they don't think about it.
Yeah, the benefits of us actually funding that is amazing. The what is it? The cost benefit analysis. If we did that on every dollar you spent, and that's what I don't like about NDIS getting cut. The reason why they're cutting it is because it's stimulating the economy a lot. So, like if you have an NDIS funded, that's somebody gets a job.
Yeah.
That's more money in the economy. And then sometimes for some people, it's, their kids get looked after. So then they can go back to work. So you've got somebody who's got a job looking after a kid with a disability. You have parents then going back to work, making more money. And so they're saying, like it can be like 2 to 3, 4 times every dollar you put into the NDIS. it's multiplying it, and they're saying that's what's driving inflation because it's boosting the economy too much. I'm like, so making people's lives easier by giving them support they need
And deserve, and also
and
is their
deserve
right.
because they're humans
Yeah.
is bad for the economy. But we're okay spending, billions of dollars giving it to gas companies when then they go and
Or
pay no
just
tax.
just buying more defense, more things for defense.
Yeah, the defense budget as well. So yeah, so
Yeah.
I don't like the other side of Parliament, but there is some things that I don't like about this budget. But yeah, we did get Blackfellas did get some good stuff out of it.
Yeah.
But time will tell. But yeah,
With these things like the big funding going towards the domestic violence for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander women, that's great. Let's just hope that it goes to the right
yes,
avenue. So it's actually going on the ground, hitting the people who need it, and not just putting people in jobs to sit around and do nothing and just have another shiny, glossy flyer while, sisters are out here struggling. Because every other day I know somebody in a domestic violence relationship, and it is really hard because you're like, okay, what services can I bring? How can I help? And there is just so much red tape and no funding or people in jobs not doing anything. And this is why people are dying. So
yeah, and so that's why I really like that its funding will support ARCHOs, Aboriginal controlled, community controlled organisations. But the thing I do worry is that the religious organisations, they do chew up a lot of that funding, and they get maybe one job out of it, whereas you're putting it into the Aboriginal controlled services sector. Yes, we don't have the big fancy infrastructure, but we're the mob on the ground getting the job done. We don't have to bring in blackfellas to do it. So
we also do need some workforce training, though, for our own mob in Aboriginal community controlled organisations. I think it'd be silly for us to sit up here and talk about it as in, oh, everything's great, fine and dandy. It's not. Like, our Aboriginal community controlled organisations have struggled for so many years. Our people need training. We need good governance. We need all of these things to function. And if we have, people not getting the support while they're working for these places, that's when we see the cracks and the failures from our own people, because we're not getting supported to support our people, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, and that's one of the issues that is probably always the case with First Nations funding, is it's always short cycles, right? So when we see it work in health, so, we've got a lot of deadly Aboriginal controlled health organisations around the place, and they're getting some really great results with, preventive care and stuff. But that's because the funding is continuous. There's always people that are sick. There's always health checks and stuff. You always have to be getting those. Whereas a domestic violence organisation, they got to reapply for funding every 2 or 3 years.
It's crazy.
And so they're like, okay, so I've got a job for this 2 years, but do we have it next? So they're not sure. You got mob that are working in those roles, literally waiting for the government to decide if they have a job or not, which is crazy. Whereas, to the health organisation, which has worked, like Quake and all them mob, like they're getting big money, but their employment rate's great. They're getting some good outcomes, but it's just too short cycles, and that's always the issue with government.
It is.
Roles.
It is, but we also, it's a hard one. I've worked for Aboriginal community controlled organisations before that, it's been the same players in the place for such a long time, the same attitudes, the slackness, working with mob that are just, getting a paycheck. Like, let's be honest, let's have that yarn, because people don't want to talk about it. They don't want to have any negativity towards that, because we're like, oh, we can't criticize. We need to be able to shine a spotlight on the things we've all experienced. We've all experienced them, and our elders have all experienced it. Like, at some point we need to go, yes, it is government funding that creates that pressure, but also we need workforce training. We need the right mob in there. We need people who want to be there and actually support each other. Like, it's a hard one. It's complex, right? It's mob working with mobs. So hopefully our ACOs get supported, because, and especially our legal services, our health services, all of these things what contribute to, our rates of health, statistics, all the rest of it. So if they can get supported and the right mob are in there and can get what they need, then that means success. So
exactly.
Yes. Well, that's good. The budget. You had a field day. Did you watch it live though?
No, I didn't get a chance to watch it live. I watched some of it live, but I don't really like watching it live. I like to
You want to go back and
follow.
see all the
Yeah, I like to read all the
highlights.
opinions and the highlights because there's a lot of really boring stuff in there.
It's so boring. You know what I think is hilarious? Every
Yeah.
every year when, whoever's in there, as the treasurer, and they get up and they deliver their budget and they do it in front of everyone, and then the party gets up and they clap and they're like praising it, and then they print copies of this book so they can show the cameras. But I'm like, if you want to save some money, that printing, like we don't need to print anymore, guys. Like that's a big book just for you to hand it over to somebody in a camera shot.
Yeah.
And then I love when they say, congratulations on the budget delivery. I'm like, what do you mean? That's your job, brother. I'm not congratulating. That's your job.
No, I'm not congratulating you on doing your job.
That's why you're there. You're the treasurer. Just get it done. And then the shadow treasurer is like, oh, brother, you didn't get to print a book, okay? Don't be salty.
That's why you're sad. You didn't get to print the book,
Politics is so funny, isn't it? It's crazy. Oh, well, next year, brother, the budget. Let's see. I clearly need to tighten up my own budget. That's what I got out of this year's budget for me.
Yes, that's exactly right. You need to look at what you're spending your budget on because you won't be getting any funding from nobody.
I can't buy a house because I've got a dollhouse to fix. So anyway, it's time for Deadly or Doogie.
Deadly or Doogie?
Deadly or Doogie? Deadly or Doogie? Doogie.
This is deadly. Nah, that was Doogie.
Doogie. Deadly or Doogie? We haven't done this segment for a while. Deadly or Doogie? Is something deadly or is it Doogie, aka gammon, dumb, silly Doogie? It's Doogie. Is it Doogie or deadly?
Yeah.
What are we talking about this week on Doogie and Deadly?
We are talking about something that we're all about to experience, especially if you work in an organization with a reconciliation action plan, and that is National Reconciliation Week. So by the time you're listening to this, people will be deep in planning and organizing. There'll be people calling up black artists and black people at the last minute like, hey, we want to do a weaving workshop. We've got $22 and a morning tea. Can you come give us your cultural knowledge for free, please?
You know what? This is the part when I say Reconciliation Week. Is it Doogie or deadly? Reconciliation Week, deadly. It's another week we can think about our people. Whether or not it's, what did Elaine Crombie say, the great Elaine Crombie? Reconciliation is dead. I will quote it every year. Shout out to Elaine. I saw her comedy show the other week, so I just want to give a shout out to Elaine. But is it Doogie in the fact that, what is it, 2 weeks away by the time this goes to air?
Mm-hmm.
I've got people calling me up asking me if I can come and do a weaving workshop at their business, at their org, at their whatever, 2 weeks away. 2 weeks.
That's terrible.
Brother. And also NAIDOC. I've got the NAIDOC ones coming in now.
Oh my goodness.
It's May, June, July. There's 2 months till.
It's too late.
Oh, come on, you mob. Like, at this point, now I've got a couple of gigs for Reconciliation Week already. Like, I start getting requests for weaving workshops as a weaver, my weaving business, probably late January for the year.
Oh, that's good.
They start coming in, but I just know that at least a week or two before big events, or at least a month out, people are coming to me scrambling.
Yeah.
And it's also at the end of financial year, so they're looking to spend their money. And look, I'm for spending other people's money, don't get me wrong, but I would like some heads up, some notice. I'm here all year round, guys. Mm-hmm. It's just this last minute tokenism that I hate. That's what I don't like. That's the Doogie part. What do you think?
Yeah, I love NAIDOC Week. I love Black Christmas. And when I wasn't organizing things, I thought National Reconciliation was good. But now I'm the lead.
Oh.
And I was like, you're responsible. I'm like,
You're responsible for organizing?
Yeah. So
Oh,
my team and I, we're
yeah.
the ones that organise it for the organisation. It's like, this is actually the worst. Like,
Yeah.
we're doing a whole lot of work for these white fellas to say they're good at working with white fellas.
Right?
Like I was like, I thought the whole thing for National Reconciliation Week was the white people were trying to
Y-
reconcile with us, but it feels like
yeah. You're
I'm
supposed to be
doing all
doing
the
the heavy
work.
lifting.
Yeah, I
And,
feel like I'm doing all the work for
oh,
you to make
man.
yourself feel better about working with me. Um, so yeah, I appreciate all those events I went to back in the day before
You had to do it.
I got too high, and now I'm burned. Now I'm being burnt. Got too close to the sun.
What's the classic like reconciliation activity? Like what's some of the
It's
most
always
tired ones that you
it's
see?
always the morning tea.
It's
Like
the morning
we love the
tea.
morning tea, the bush tucker morning tea.
Bring out the lemon myrtle muffins,
Yeah,
roll them out.
I enjoy morning teas.
Do you? Well, it's clearly
Because
food. It's
because
snacks.
you like, but I also like people. So you don't like people, and you have a whatever relationship with food. Whereas I love food, and I like talking to people. So this is a work morning tea. You're gonna pay me to eat food that I like eating and just talk to. Last time I did one of these, I was talking to four blokes I'd never met in my life. We're like, oh yeah. Somehow we're talking about. I'm like, oh, I know that black fella. Like, oh, where? I'm like, oh, they're from Perth, aren't they? Like, yeah. Had the biggest yarn about this one black fella. I can't remember who it is now.
This is for Reconciliation Week morning tea at a workplace.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll just talk to everybody.
Is that everyone's chance to start going? Do you know this black person? Do you know? Oh, this is their one
No,
chance to drop their
I was
black
one
knowledge.
that said it.
Right.
I was one that said it. I was like, oh, you're from there? Yeah, I know a fella from there. And he's like, I actually do know that person. I was like, what a coincidence. So yes, I'm
love
down
that.
for the morning teas because especially when I get to be in control because I get to pick the food that I want to be at the morning tea as well.
What food are you getting this year? I want to know.
So there's the typical
Here we go.
lemon myrtle
See,
biscuits,
knew it.
and then there's the chocolate cake for me. That's got nothing to do with black walls, but it's chocolate, and I'm chocolate. So there you go.
This is a lesson in how to close the gap, everybody.
Yeah,
That's what that is.
kangaroo sausage rolls.
Oh, give it up. You don't need kangaroo sausage rolls. When did we have pastry? When did we have puff pastry as black people? Come on.
You're making a dollhouse, so don't talk to me about.
No, that's Doogie. That's
don't
Doogie.
Talk to me about
puff
what you're
pastry
doing,
trying to make out it's traditional.
You're
Just because it's got
dollhouses.
kangaroo. Show me the traditional puff pastry. I'm not out here trying to sell this though as a cultural activity. That's the
yes, you
difference.
are.
What?
Yes, you are.
This is not a cultural activity. This is
Yes,
my
backtracking.
this is
Anyway,
my
so
future.
back to me, and then you have like obviously fruit and veggies. What are the little native spices or native things? I think there's like native herbal teas. Yeah,
Davidson plum jam.
No, Davidson plum jam on the scones. That's right. No damper this year. Bit
What?
sad about that. No,
Why?
no damper.
Who's not making it?
I don't know. The black fellas that we're getting the company
Okay.
they didn't have it on the list this year, so that's a shame. It's not as bougie because we're corporate, so I don't think they want damper for the corporates anymore. but,
Yes, they do. You know what? This is what I hate about this. If you want to black things up at your workplaess, black it up properly. Okay, don't come in here.
I might just take my damper in.
That's what I'm saying. Take your damper in. Make one the night before. Take it in. Look, white fellas, if you want to be reconciling with us, then you can eat our mission feeds too. Okay, eat my busted up hamper and rice.
Bully beef and rice.
That's exactly right. I think it's gammon. I think that's gammon. Nagus? No, I'm joking. I don't mind a morning tea either, but I don't like the socialization part of it. And I'm like, what? Why are we standing around here? We're like reconciliation. Like, what are we going to? Because I've been at these morning teas, right, at workplaces, and people just stand around in the kitchen and stare at each other, like no. And then people go, just want to say something for Reconciliation Week. Thanks everyone for like turning up today. And the theme this year for Reconciliation Week is this. And I'd like to just reflect on that for and think, you know what? I'm like this gammon, and then everyone just goes. Yep. And then everyone eats their damper and their scone with the Davidson plum with dairy, which blackfellas never had. But anyway, and then we eat it and then we're just kind of like staring, and then people usually just generally talk about work or their kids. No one's talking about reconciling. We're just eating scones together, and then we go back to our desks like nothing happened.
But you're getting paid to do it. That's
But
you're
is
getting
it
paid.
meaningful, Nagus?
It's meaningful to me. I enjoy it.
Because you got chocolate cake. That's the
I know.
difference.
Yeah, and I get to talk about myself.
Oh my
You
God.
know, it's all the things I like.
What could we do different for Reconciliation Week, right? If people are listening and they're like, okay, well, let's get rid of the morning tea. What could we do instead? What could we do if workplaces really planned ahead and thought of these things? What's something they could do that would be meaningful?
You could put blackfellas in charge
Ooh,
for
leadership.
the whole week.
Oh, for the whole week.
It's not a week. It's the National Reconciliation Week. Pay them the CEO wage and put them in charge.
That's never going to happen. And
Well,
you and
you
I
asked me.
both know this.
You asked me for a solution. And I gave you one. Put everybody in, put the blackfellas in charge.
Can you
Pay us the
imagine?
boss's wage. I'll
Okay,
turn
if
that.
you could be the CEO tomorrow,
Yes.
what's a day in the life of you? If your boss right now said, for Reconciliation Week, Nagus, I'm going to give you the mic for this organisation. What are you going to do with it? I'm going to give you my pay. I'm going to give you my everything. Off you go. You got 1 week. What are you doing?
Well, for starters, he gets paid double what I get paid, so I know what I'd be doing with the pay for me. But in this hypothetical world where I'm in charge, I think I would go straight into the employment coffers and be like, all right, I want this many blackfellas employed here. I
Okay.
want. So I'm diversity and inclusion.
I asked you for a
So-
job and you said you didn't have any, so I don't know who you're trying to
so
fill.
we
gammon.
only employ deadly blackfellas,
Bruh.
not dollhouse makers. so-
Anyways, I could make an entirely new office space for all of you based out of paddle pop sticks, and that is something I could offer. You'd have great
Yeah.
office furniture, you know that. Anyway, yeah.
I'd go deep into the diversity and inclusion space and just be like, all right, we're buying this. We're changing these lights. We're changing the work from home
Procurement.
arrangements.
Just
Yeah.
straight up
Procurement.
procurement. Yeah.
Procurement would just be hate me because I'm like, get
Weaving
rid of all
every
these
week.
processes.
We're doing weaving.
I don't want to see another procurement process. If they say they got the money, then we give them the money. That's all we need to do.
Okay. You said what, we're having the week off? Everyone's working from home.
Yep.
That's everyone or just the blackfellas in the job?
The blackfellas and the allies. And you have to sing a Jessica Malboy song,
Shut your mouth.
or else you don't know. You're not an ally.
Question: do you know who Coloured Stone is? No, you're working from from the office this week,
Give
champ.
me one line from the Coloured Stone. No, all right.
If I say the line, "Black boy, the colour of your skin is your pride and joy," what does that mean to you?
Yeah.
Oh my God, could you imagine? Far out.
If I say treaty, what's the next word that you think? Oh no, that's not what we're thinking. Sorry. The answer was treaty A. Yeah, treaty, yeah. Treaty now. There's your three responses. If you don't respond with one of those.
You said treaty never, so you get to work from the office all week.
Yeah.
Oh man, if only. Well, Reconciliation Week, I don't know. I've got a couple of weaving gigs on, so that'll be good. I feel like weaving is a good way because you get to connect with people. It's not just, we can actually talk about, like, you know, I talk about the cultural practice of weaving, and then I will incorporate the theme, you know, I'll bring it up and just remind people of what it is, but I also talk about the reality of Reconciliation Week and then things that people can actually do. So yeah, like you're saying, support Indigenous business, listen to podcasts like ours, GoFundMe money for my dollhouse, like things like that are really super important, and I will be speaking all of it. I also give out our podcast cards that I have
Oh, that's good.
when I do our weaving, and I say, if you want to continue listening to Black Voices, here you go. And then they're going to come on this and they're going to hear me running
about
every
dollhouse.
running things down. So it's going to be good. It's going to be good. But Doogie or Deadly, Reconciliation Week?
I'm gonna say deadly,
Deadly.
if I don't have to organise it.
Yeah, I think overall it's deadly. I think it's deadly. It doesn't have the same feel like it once did when we all walked across the bridge together, and
No.
No. Maybe we need to rethink it at some point.
Interesting. More people celebrate National Reconciliation Week now than then. But
Really?
mm,
Celebrate it?
yeah, like recognize it, acknowledge it.
Yeah, okay.
All the schools do. Lots of businesses do. Pretty every
Yep.
government department does.
Yeah.
But we've watered it down.
Okay, we have watered it down. Do our people believe in it much anymore is probably the question I'm asking.
Interesting. I don't
Interesting.
know. I can't speak for the people.
Let's put it out there. If you want to drop us a message on them yarns, hit us up on Instagram or on the TikToks because Aaron made me, and also Facebook. Drop us a message. And also just a last spruik. Yeah, the awards are coming up soon. The audio awards that you wanted to go to without me encouraged. Let's not go back there. Jezebel. Judas. So yeah, we will hopefully win that award for the best culture and society podcasters independence. But you can also go onto our Instagram. I put the link in there for everyone who follows our social media page, and you can vote for us as the People's Choice Award. So we could potentially win 2 awards. But go on there and vote. And yes, we can vote for ourselves and Angus. Have you done it?
Yes.
Yeah, of course you did. Amazing. So yeah, go and vote. And hit us up on the socials. Let us know what you think of Reconciliation Week, about the budget of my dollhouse. I'll post some reels too. I reckon that's
post the reels. Let's go.
That's going to be the one. But all right, brother. Well, thanks for that.
Thanks, everybody.
I'll post you as well. I'll give you a little update on the dollhouse because I know you're living for it.
I'm not living for it, but thank you.
All right, we'll catch
everybody.
you next time. Yo.
Yo.
Such a war.